friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Jessie. So glad you're here. In this video, we are going to chat all about the new Disney Cruise Line ship that's coming out summer of 2022, the Disney Wish. I've been a cast member and a performer on all four of the Disney ships, the Disney Dream, the Disney Fantasy, the Disney Wonder, and the Disney Magic. So you can imagine how excited I was for this grand reveal and just to see everything that the new ship, the Disney Wish, has in store. So I thought it'd be really fun to kind of chat about it and share what I think. I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments below and just have a discussion to hear what you're most excited about. So let's do it. Let's talk about the Disney Wish. So this is going to be the 5th ship to join the Disney Cruise Line fleet, and then there are 2 more sister ships that are to follow after this one. So they kind of go in little pairs. So the first 2 was the Magic and the Wonder. Then a few years later we had the Dream and the Fantasy, and now we're having 3 ships, the Wish and 2 mystery ships. So very exciting that there are 2 more to come that will likely follow the layout and the design of the Wish, with a few little differences among them. So getting started, if you're going on a Wish vacation, you'll be entering into the Grand Hall, which is like the Grand Atrium and the other ships, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So everything is themed to be like a castle on the sea. There's a Cinderella statue in the atrium. It looks absolutely gorgeous, but one of the things I'm most excited to see in the Grand Hall is the Grand Hall stage, which as a performer, this is so great because on the other ships, typically some of the holiday events, like maybe the Winter Ball, that takes place in front of the landing, in front of the atrium restaurant, and it can be a little bit crowded and you're kind of, you know, tucked away, where this is an actual stage that performers or the live musicians, the bands, they can all perform and actually have space to put on a great show. This will also be great because then it's not getting in the way of people going in and out of the restaurant. Just a few other little nice things about that. So I was super excited to see the Grand Hall stage. I cannot wait to see what kind of performances or special events, holiday enhancements that they have there. I think it's going to be amazing. There's also some really cool little balcony setups. It looks like there'll be, maybe it was up on deck 5, like a little balcony spot that characters can come out and say hello to the whole atrium. That will be really neat. I don't know what other kind of things they'll have up there, but that looked really beautiful as well. They had Fairy Godmother up there in the video virtual reveal, so that was pretty cool. Now the grand staircase in the Grand Hall leads from up top all the way down to deck 3, where the Grand Hall like main area is, and that just looks absolutely stunning. So it kind of wraps around, and I just can imagine, you know, princesses walking down there and just getting pictures taken down there as a guest. It looks absolutely amazing. But better than the stairs, and I'm a little jealous that I'm not a kid for this one, is the slide that leads from the Grand Hall into the kids club, because that would be absolutely incredible as a kid. It looks like it's monitored by one of the youth activities counselors. Will probably be there to let kids down the slide. They'll probably still tap their wristband or whatever kind of form of you know, security it is to get into the kids club. But how fun to get to slide into the club. Like, that just seems so cool, and I know that I would love that if I was a kid. That also leads me to say that the setup is different than on the Dream or the Magic class. On this new set of ships, the Kids Club, the Oceaneers Club, is down on deck 2, whereas before it's been up on deck 5. So that makes sense as to how you can slide from deck 3 down to deck 2. Next to the Kids Club is the Small World Nursery. So that is also typically on deck 5, but you'll find it on deck 2 on the Disney Wish. So that slide seems like a really fun attraction for kids, but luckily there's an attraction for kids of all ages, and that's the Aqua Mouse, which is the first Disney attraction at sea. It looks absolutely amazing. So fun. It's all Mickey Mouse cartoon themed. It kind of reminded me of the Aqua Duck, but this is like a little coaster, and it looks like it goes up and it has all the screens on the side. So that's going to be really, really cool. I bet that there's going to be a long line for that, like a lot of the time, but I think it's just going to be such a great enhancement to the pool decks. And speaking of the pool decks, there are 10 different pools on this ship, which is way more than the Dream or Magic class. For kids, instead of of the Nemo's Reef or the other little splash pads. On the Disney Wish, it's going to be Toy Story themed. And there's also a Rex slide. So I guess you'll probably slide down his tail or something. So that's like the family fun zone. So that seems really cute. And then there's also the adult section with all of the adult pools over in Quiet Cove. Now, typically this is in the forward part of the ship, but on the deck plans for these ships, it's in the back of the ship, so the aft. And I actually think that's going to be really great because they're talking about an infinity pool, and there's just more surface area at the aft that they could cover the infinity pool. So I bet that there's going to be some gorgeous views as you're sailing away. Like, imagine being in the infinity pool. Oh, it just seems incredible. Also up at Quiet Cove is Cove Cafe, which they didn't mention this on the virtual tour, but I checked the deck plans and it's actually set to be a Moana themed cafe, which sounds incredible. I bet that there's going to be some really fun kind of Polynesian or maybe even Hawaiian themed coffee drinks. Maybe we'll get some Kona coffee in there. I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm sure it's going to be beautiful and just feel like a tropical getaway. So typically near the Quiet Cove in the adult section is Senses Fitness Center and Senses Spa, but on the deck plans, this is actually deck 5 forward, which is kind of nice that it's not all the way up, so you can kind of get to it a little bit easier maybe from your stateroom. My guess is that there will still be a lot of ocean views. It is deck 5 forward, so it'll probably have those gorgeous views that we know and love from Senses Gym and Spa, and I'm really excited to see when more information is revealed about that. Again, that was only on the deck plan, so I just had to do a little digging to find out more about that, but I'm sure it will be absolutely incredible and just a top-notch spa. When comparing the spas from the Magic class to the Dream class, they've definitely leveled it up a notch, so I feel like we're gonna see a big shift in the luxury of these spas. This whole ship, I feel like they've taken little things from the other ships that they've been trying to improve, and each time they build a new ship, they take the, you know, what they've learned from the previous ship to make it better for the next one. So I'm really excited to see all the things that they've improved, and you know, I love all the other ships. I think that they're absolutely gorgeous, but to have something new and exciting is just so fun. So staying up on the open deck, there's also a hero zone. So what I'm thinking is that this is kind of like the Goofy sports deck, but my guess is that it's gonna be more Marvel themed, which is super cool. Okay, I'm good. On the Magic class, this is where, you know, the basketball court is, and the foosball tables, and the ping pong, all that good stuff. On the Dream class, they also have the little putt-putt golf, the Goofy's golf. So I bet that there's gonna be some hero-themed sports stuff, which is really cool. I feel like that's a super empowering theme for a sports deck. Something interesting is that this is kind of like right up next to the adult-only area, which it kind of seems a little bit like contrasting themes, but I'm sure that they have a plan to make sure that the Quiet Cove stays nice and quiet and that people can get rowdy and wild over in the hero zone. A few other fun things for like the teens and like preteens is Edge and Vibe. So before, these have also been on like the upper decks, and it's the same for Vibe. Vibe's gonna be on deck 12, and Edge for the preteens is on deck 5. So the kids clubs and the teen clubs are really spread out throughout the ship, so that's kind of cool. Also, the theming is super cool. So Vibe, it's supposed to be a Parisian loft theme, and then Edge is a New York City kind of lounge theme, which seems really fun, and I can't wait to see how they decorate it. They do a pretty good job with the teen and kids club, that it's not super over-the-top Disney, it's just like the subtle touches, so I bet that that's gonna be really cool. Going back down to the kids club, the Oceaneer Club and Lab, there's that Imagineering Lab where you can design your own attractions. That seems so fun. That reminds me of Disney Quest, which I remember going to as a little kid and like getting to make my own roller coasters. So you can do that in the kids club. I think that's an amazing idea. They also have Fairy Tale Hall for all the princess events, like maybe story time and, you know, the arts and craft with Rapunzel like they mentioned. And then there is the Marvel Superhero Academy, which again, just such a great idea. And I know that Marvel's so big right now, so it's really cool to see that they're incorporating that all around the ship. A few other family-friendly areas, they have Luna, which is kind of the family-friendly lounge, kind of similar to D-Lounge kind of vibe. Like D-Lounge I know is on all 4 ships up to this point. So I'm kind of thinking it's that kind of an area that can be, you know, family friendly, and then they can also have like special events and stuff going on in there. What's great about Luna is it's actually 2 stories, so the main level is on level 4, and then there's like, it looks like a balcony up on level 5, so that'll be really good for if they ever do family friendly shows in there. There's room for everyone to see, because I know that those events can be very busy and sometimes it's hard to find a seat where you can actually see the show. So I think that was a really good call to have it be 2 levels. There's also a 2-level theater, the Walt Disney Theater, which is obviously my favorite place on the ship. That's where all the main stage shows go on, and they have the special variety acts in there. And they did announce that Aladdin will be one of the shows that they're playing in the main stage theater, along with 2 other original shows. So when you're looking at the Walt Disney Theater concept, it's very green and it's actually themed after Fantasia, which is gorgeous, like very whimsical and kind of nature inspired. So what I'm hoping to see with some of these shows, I think it would be amazing to see like an enchanted garden kind of themed show, like very nature inspired. We have, you know, such great movies with Disney nature like Pocahontas and The Jungle Book and The Lion King or Moana. Like that would be incredible. Like all that green space, I think that would look so good. This is just me guessing. I have no idea what's to come. It just looks absolutely breathtaking, and I'm sure that would be such a great theater experience. So speaking of theaters, another super exciting thing is that there are 2 movie theaters, which is brilliant because Disney has so many movies. They do their first release movies, which can be super, super busy. Sometimes they fill up and you can't see them, or you're waiting outside for a really long time, which, you know, soaks up some of your vacation time. So now there are 2 movie theaters, which I think is just brilliant, and their theming is incredible. So these are located on deck 4, and there's a Neverland theater and a Wonderland theater. So obviously the Neverland theater is themed after Peter Pan. I think that's so great. And then there's the Wonderland theater themed after Alice in Wonderland. So both of those sound really cool. I love that they're bringing in some of the original movies for some of this theming, like the Fantasia theater, Neverland, Wonderland, all really fun. Okay, this next one is a big one. Dining, all the restaurants. This is so exciting because there are some incredible new restaurants coming to this ship, but also like some changes from the other ships that we know and love. But here's what I think about that. There's no animator's palette on this ship, which at first I was kind of surprised because that's been something that's been on all 4 ships prior to this, and I was kind of like, oh, you know, like that's such a classic like Disney Cruise Line staple. But at the same time, there are 2 more ships coming after this, so that would mean that there are 7 animators palettes. And as much as I love that restaurant, like, it's good to have some variety and something different that will set apart the 4 other ships from these 3 new ships. So I'm actually pretty excited that all these restaurants are new and that there are no repeats from the other ships. So the restaurants that they mentioned, there's going to be the Arendelle Frozen Adventure restaurant. This is going to be interactive, it seems, that Anna, Kristoff, Elsa are gonna be there. But it just seems so exciting, and it's a continuation of the story. So it'll be fun to see the celebration. I believe they're celebrating I think it's like an engagement party for Kristoff and Anna, something cute along those lines. So that will be so fun to see that. And it's Queen Anna and Queen Elsa in their Frozen 2 attire. So how cool is that to finally see that on the cruise ships? So exciting! So World of Marvel is the next one that they were talking about, which is a Marvel themed restaurant, and it seems really cool, but they use the word ambitious to describe it. So I'm kind of wondering, and this is again just my ideas here, like maybe it's gonna be similar to how they have the Turtle Talk with Crush at Animator's Palette on the Dream and the Fantasy. Maybe it'll be something with that where it's like interactive superheroes on the screens, or maybe you're gonna be dining with superheroes. I have no idea, but the word ambitious makes it sound like it's gonna be a really epic dinner experience. So I don't know what to expect for that. I think it's gonna be really cool. It's a big theme. There's a lot of theming on the ship. There's a lot of Marvel and Star Wars and like specific movie theming, which I think is really cool. It's just different than we've seen before, but I think the Marvel idea is great. I mean, everyone's getting really into the Marvel movies. I just hope that people who've not seen the Marvel movies will enjoy the experience as much. I know when I did Marvel Day at Sea, it was so amazing once I finally saw the Marvel movies, because then everything makes sense and all those tiny little details that are so thought out are actually like making such a big impression, and they make such a difference to your cruise experience. So I guess that's gonna be my biggest thing, is like I wanna make sure before I sail, if I get to sail on the Wish, that I'm caught up with all these little like special features like Star Wars and Marvel and all that good stuff, so I can really appreciate everything that's going on. Okay, segueing back into the restaurants after that, the third restaurant that they mention is 1923, which is it looks like the formal dining, like the more formal of the 3 rotational dinings, and it's themed after Hollywood, the year that the Walt Disney Studios were started, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love that they had like a sketch of Belle in one of the like window displays, and like if you look in the back of the concept art or the picture that they showed, there's Flynn Rider, I think, and Rapunzel, so it looks like there's going to be a bit of that animator's palette, like the sketched art renderings vibe going on, just with a more formal feeling. So it said it was gonna have like California fusion food. That seems really good. I also think that this would be a fun restaurant to get all dressed up for, you know, when you want to get dressed up for one night on the cruise. I bet this will be a gorgeous restaurant to feel all like a Hollywood movie star. So another super exciting thing about the food is that there's going to be vegan options at all the restaurants. Like, so exciting. I'm plant-based as well, so I'm like really looking forward to that. I mean, I hope I'll get the chance to go and experience some of those vegan dining options, but it sounds really, really great that they're really branching out into a more plant-based menu for those who choose to eat plant-based. So there still is the adult-only dining experiences, and that would be Palo. In this case, it's Palo Steakhouse. Again, I don't eat steak, so this one's a little bit lost on me. Like, let me know, are you excited for this steakhouse? Like, I love Palo. I've had the opportunity to eat there quite a few times. So, you know, maybe a change will be good, but I also really love the Italian, like fine Italian dining feel. So let me know, like, are you excited for this? Because to me, I'm just kind of like, well, okay, like, odd choice to make it into a steakhouse, but I guess it could be really cool for the steak lovers who really want that like high-end steak. And then there's also the even more high-end dining option, which is Enchanté, and that seems gorgeous. Like, so that's what I'm thinking is the Remy equivalent from the Dream Class ships. There's Remy, which is like the level up from Palo, and that's what I think Enchanté is going to be. It looks really beautiful. They also have the Rose, which seems to be like the Meridian, I guess, equivalent from the Dream Class ship. So that would be like the bar and lounge that you can go to before and after dinner up there. It seems like a really nice adult-only place with some beautiful sea views, themed after Beauty and the Beast as well. It all seems very lovely and very elegant, and I think choosing Beauty and the Beast to theme it after was a good call, because I think a lot of adults really like Beauty and the Beast. It's a very mature and romantic love story, so a perfect place for a nice dinner date or a special occasion. It seems really, really fun. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch more nightclubs and like bars and lounges for the adults, but one that they mentioned was Hyperspace Lounge, I think. Yeah, Hyperspace Lounge, and it's Star Wars themed, and this looks so cool. So it's kind of has that Skyline vibe, like I think on the Fantasy they have Skyline, and they have like the projector behind the bar that kind of changes the cityscapes, but this is changing, you know, planets. So you'll have all different planets like from the Star Wars movies that you'll be passing by. That seems really, really, really cool. With the success from the parks from Galaxy's Edge and all the cool little bars, I don't know what they're called, I haven't been yet, but I'm sure this is going to be a really big hit. It's family friendly in the day, and then it becomes a nightclub at night, kind of like some of the pubs on the other ships that they're typically family friendly in the day. They'll do like trivia and events, and then they become adult only at night. So I think that that'll be a really great place to hang out. Again, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other great bars and lounges for the adults that we just haven't seen yet. There's a bunch of Magic Coming Soon little stickers when you look at the deck plan on the Disney Wish website. So there's lots to come, I'm sure. They've also labeled retail shops. There will be some fun Disney shops, but there's just not that much detail about that yet. And then lastly, we get to our staterooms. Staterooms are on level 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, and 13, it seems. And there's laundry on level 8, it looked like. So all the staterooms look beautiful. They look a lot brighter and airier than the staterooms on the Dream Class or the Magic Class, which are more of like a kind of nautical theme. This is more fairy tale themed, very bright, and the art looks gorgeous. The pictures that they showed were all kind of Cinderella concept art, which is beautiful, like super excited to see that. It also looked like the showers have glass doors instead of shower curtains, which that's great, because when the ship rocks and you're like smothered by a shower curtain, like it's very difficult to take a shower. So I think that the glass shower doors will be really nice and just like a nice touch, I guess. Just feels super, super elegant and clean. Let us not forget the concierge rooms. They look beyond a fairy tale. They look absolutely incredible. That 2-story one is impeccable. I don't know how much that costs, but I'm sure it's worth it. Like if you have that kind of money, I'm sure that the experience is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. And there's the bathroom that overlooks the ocean. I mean, it doesn't get any nicer than that. Like that just sounds absolutely gorgeous. I bet it's so fun to stay there. I don't think I'll ever stay there, but if you can do it, awesome. Comment down below if that's something that you would splurge on as well, because it seems really, really beautiful. So that's kind of the overview of all that's going on the ship, and it looks really nice, and I'm super excited to see how these things kind of come into play. There's a bunch of areas, again, that are labeled, you know, that the magic's coming soon. They haven't really talked about the quick service locations for food or cabanas or anything like that yet. I don't know if there'll be an ice cream shop like there is on the Dream and the Fantasy, because I think that those have been like a great addition that they've added in later. I don't know if they'll be having any special shops. I know that the Fantasy has Tiffany's, and like that's really cool, so I wonder if there'll be any kind of specialty shops that we'll be seeing. So I'm super excited to see what this ship has to offer. Whatever it does have to offer, even if it's different from the classic ships or the Dream class ships, it's going to be such a cool experience to see something new, and especially after all this time away from sailing, to get back to it on that ship would be just a dream come true. So I think overall, to kind of wrap up my first impressions, it looks stunning. It looks like a castle. It looks gorgeous. I bet that it would be an amazing experience to be a cast member on that ship, but also a guest, because it just seems like they've taken everything from the previous ships and just leveled it up a couple notches. It'll be so fun to see what they do with the next 2 ships, whatever their names may be, and just to see what's to come with this next chapter for Disney Cruise Line. Wrapping it all up, I think some of the things I'm most excited for: the atrium slide. I know I can't use it, but it seems awesome. The Grand Hall stage. I think that that's just going to be so great for all those live entertainment offerings in the atrium. There's finally a place to perform. Number 3, the 2 movie theaters. That's incredible. I think that's just such a great opportunity for all the different films that they can show. There could be one catered to adults, to kids, you know, new releases, all that good stuff. Number 4, so excited for the Aqua Mouse. That's something that would just be incredible. I'm sure it's gonna be so fun. What a cool thing to have a coaster at sea. I think it's like 760 feet long too, so it goes all over. You'll get some great views up there. It's so cool. And number 5, I'm so excited for 1923. That restaurant looks gorgeous. I hope that the food's amazing. I'm so excited that there's some vegan and plant-based options. Like that is really, really cool. And yeah, I think that those are my top 5 favorite things that I'm looking forward to seeing how they are and what they look like, all that fun stuff. Booking for these cruises comes out in just a few weeks, and I feel like it's going to sell out very quickly. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys had fun chatting about the new Disney Wish with me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below all your thoughts, because I really want this to be a discussion. Like, let me know what you're excited for, what you'll miss from the old ships, what you know, didn't like about the old ships that you're excited isn't there on the new ships, all of the above. Comment that down below. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys had fun. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys for the next video. Bye!